Grace. What do you think of when you hear that word? Grace. A woman's name? The Three Graces, Raphael's masterpiece painting? Amazing Grace, written by former slave owner turned abolitionist John Newton? The dictionary defines grace as elegant movement, courteous goodwill, or doing honor by your presence. If you are a Christian, you may have heard it defined as a generous, free, and undeserved gift of God. Well, in my time, we saw it differently.
The demoniac was possessed by a large number of demons, but Jesus demonstrated amazing grace when he freed the man from their influence. The former demoniac, filled with gratitude, became one of the most influential preachers of all time because of his encounter with Jesus.
Saying something is a free gift is like repeating yourself. A gift is something that is given with no strings attached. If there are strings attached, it isn't a gift, right? That's how it is in the modern world. But the ancient world, gifts almost always had strings attached. Gifts were usually undeserved, but more often than not had some kind of strings to go along with it. The strings usually came in the form of the gift receiver acting for the benefit or at the direction of the gift giver. A strings-attached gift is no less valuable than a free gift, and in fact may be more valuable because it helps develop a relationship between the gift giver and the gift receiver. So which is the most accurate definition? Webster's dictionary or the ancient world? Maybe my story can help you decide. Beneath these clean clothes, you would find a body covered with scars. My combed hair and calm demeanor completely mask my former self. Even my name masks my former self. I have a new name now. My former name was Legion. That name stems from Roman Legion, a military unit that had roughly 6,500 men in it. I was named Legion because I was possessed by a multitude of demons. And by multitude, I still have no idea. I was born in a small village on the east side of the Sea of Galilee, a region known as the Decapolis. It was named that due to the 10 sizable Roman cities in the region. Only Scythopolis was on the west side of the Jordan River. I lived north of the city of Hippus on the east side of the Sea of Galilee. I was as normal as a young Roman could be. Until in my late teens, I discovered a few old idols in a local market. I found them curiously attractive. I was inexplicably drawn to them. I paid dearly to obtain them. I began to experiment, worshiping some of these ancient Canaanite gods. It seemed coincidental at first, but I began to find more idols in the markets or elsewhere. Anywhere I went, idols just popped up, and I bought them. Soon my small home was filled with idols, packed. But not just a collection, like a hoarder. And I was worshiping each one of them. It started as an innocent amusement and transformed into a full-time, all-consuming obsession. My worship of these idols were a gateway for demons to enter my mind, my body. I became violent and irrational. Some days I was so vicious and unpredictable that the village leaders tied me with ropes. I broke any rope they used. They tried bronze chains, iron chains. Threads, both were like threads, snapped effortlessly. I was so serially dangerous that the village leaders drove me away. They had to. So many demons. Home. I was driven from my home. I lived in graveyards, caves, in the mountains. I tore my clothes apart so that I was naked, even on the coldest of days. I took sharp stones or pottery shards and cut myself. Gashes. Really? Torture. More accurately, I don't really know. Was the demons? Or me trying to control the demons? And nights, my screams tormented, terrified the people in the villages. One day I was perched on a boulder watching over my hillside domain. Nobody dared trespass my space. In the distance, a boat turned in the middle of the lake and headed my way. Intruders. Shrieking, rushing down to the shoreline to confront them head on, to hurt them, hurl rocks at them, sink their puny boat. I'm roughly 50 yards from the shore when they land. A solitary figure steps onto the shore and looks at me. His gaze stops me in my tracks. What do you want with me, Jesus? Son of the Most High God. In God's name, don't torture me. I'm shouting this. I don't know who he is. The multitude of demons in me recognizes Jesus, and they are terrified of him. A sound like a gigantic waterfall. What is your name? Jesus asks. Through my mouth, the demons reply, Legion, for there are many of us. I beg you not to send us far away. Send us into that herd of pigs. Pigs. A couple thousand pigs in a nearby herd, just nearby, grazing. He sends the demons into the pigs. Jesus chooses to grant their request. The pigs run off the cliff, drown in the Sea of Galilee. The people of the town hear of the commotion. They rush to see me, sitting, peaceful, fully clothed, and they see the pigs floating. 2,000 dead pigs. With that combination of bizarre circumstances, they're overcome with fear. They beg Jesus to leave the entire region. He honors their request. Jesus gets right into that boat. I cling to him, begging him, let me go with you. You have no idea how desperately I wanted to go. And he smiles. Go home to your own people. Tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he has had mercy on you. Stopped in my tracks again by the same man. I back up out of the water and sit down. Gifts. He just gave me gifts. 2 of them. I don't know what to say. Me? A man possessed by demons who does not deserve any mercy, not any grace. No longer a slave to the masses of demons in my head. Do you know what that's like? You don't. I am dressed and rational. And the second gift, I can be with people again. My people. My family. Home. Gifts of grace. As a Roman, I know that all gifts have strings attached. What does Jesus want me to do? Simply go among my people and tell them what he did for me. How he had mercy on me. So I do. I go throughout the entire 10-city region, tell everyone who will listen what Jesus did for me. People who read my story in the Bible believe that this is the end of my story. There's another ending. It's so subtle, most people miss it. The next time Jesus came to our region was when he fed the 4,000. Instead of telling him to go away, this time, the crowds welcomed him. Couldn't wait to be with him. Why the difference? Some people speculate it was because of me. Because of me telling the people about what Jesus had done for me. About his grace to me. The Apostle Paul tells Christians that they are saved by grace through faith. Salvation. An unbelievable, undeserved gift. An unbelievable, undeserved grace. A gift. Strings attached? Well, I'm from the ancient world. Many years and cultural norms removed from yours, but here's what I was told. Go home and tell everyone what Jesus did for me.